I had read multiple stories about female abuse, female rape, female sexual abuse, and all of that. What happened with a girl was exactly similar with what had happened with me.
He somehow like kind of inspired me to share my story. There is something in his voice that is soothing, or let's say, you can do it, that phrase. His story said, wanted help in murder. I was like, what help? I'll help you.
Okay, so we have to give context about this. There was this one thing that I was doing on my story on Instagram where I was talking about, people having ketchup on Maggie, and eating it with Maggie. And I was like, who are these people? And I want to murder these people. And I think she replied to that story saying that, okay, I'm on it with you. So let's murder these people.
Would do things to me that probably a 6-year-old shouldn't be exposed to and harmed in a way that it just causes a lot of, I think, damage to the mind, to the head, to the body, to the soul.
A kind of relief, I would say, but all thanks to Lokesh.
I spoke with my parents first at age 19 and a half, 19. Their first reaction was they cried. And they cried for hours about it. So they apologized to me that they weren't and could not be there for me when probably I needed them the most. Above all, I think what made me feel fine about myself was the fact that my parents understood the depth and they understood that this was a real problem.
My grandmom, she came. She was like, have you ever looked at yourself? You are so fat, your breasts are big, you don't wear dupatta, you wear all the jeans. How do you expect someone to treat you? You maybe were not wearing dupatta at his place, so he must have been attracted. I was like, मैं सो रही थी यार, मैं सो रही थी तो how to wear a dupatta? I started believing her because my own family she was. So it took almost 4.5, 5 years to get out of it. Accept the fact that I am not asking for it. There is a extremely big misconception saying if someone has went through a terrible experience, they should have anxiety and depression. People just assume that. I just don't understand that. See,
I'm sorry to cut you, but then I have had people be completely shocked when I tell them that I haven't been depressed or in a state of absolute shock. I just haven't been through it, and people are shocked. They ask me, "Are you sure?"
See, clear examples.
Do you want me to be depressed? Tell me about it. I will. I will act for it if you want it.
My case was different. I was depressed. I was anxious. I went for therapy. I took medications. See, that is my journey. That is how maybe I dealt with it. And people would call me Kumbhakarna, female version of Kumbhakarna, because I used to sleep like that. I mean, no matter what happens beside me, I just wouldn't wake up at all. A complete deep sleep.
I want to achieve that sort of determination when it comes to sleep because I get disturbed very quickly.
All the best for that. But when incident happened with my uncle when he started touching me inappropriately when I was asleep, and I don't know why I woke up that night, but I'll always thank myself that I woke up that night. And since then till today, there is not even a single day that I have slept like I used to sleep. Not even a single day. A specific DM said, "You were not raped, so this is not trauma. Don't act as if this is trauma." I was like, "Mera bhai, trauma is not, there is no line ki isse cross hua, so this is trauma. Everything is trauma. A person, let's say a person who died in swimming pool, or let's say who was drowned in swimming pool and had a near death experience, that is trauma for him. At the same time, a person who was drowned or had a near death experience in ocean, that is trauma for him. You just cannot compare those two.
You cannot sit here and compare your story with somebody else's. You can be inspired by that story and bring in some change in your life. That's okay. But it's very important to not compare your story because then you deem your problems smaller and you don't deal with them. You let them be and you let them live in your life. And every time I talk about my story, it's more of a liberation process for me. I don't know. It's that I feel more liberated every single time I talk about it with anyone. To you, how does it feel to you when you talk about your story every single time? Do you revisit that experience, or what happens to you?
I don't revisit that experience, but I feel like I'm doing something good. Like, okay, so I'm talking it. Maybe out of, let's say, 100 people who are reading it or viewing it or listening, maybe one will change, because that is more than enough for me. A person asked me, would you exchange your life or would you change your life if given a chance? I would say, no, I don't want to, because this is my life. And where I am right now, with the people supporting me, with people loving me, or taking inspiration from me, I will not change a single second about it.
I feel very proud of the fact that it's not just me in this journey. It's my parents, it's my family, it's my extended family who speaks about it, and my friends who speak about it. And all it took me was just one post, one story, one voice. That's it.